first. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have some special presentation tonight, Madam Mayor. If you would
Run down.
share that.
Your Honor, Your Honor.
So tonight, we are honoring Tanya Baron-Durant, did I say that right? For your service to the community and Fanny Chapman. So if you would please come up. And I think some members of the board are going to join and stand with you as well. So you're being honored tonight for something very specific, and the time frame is from 2019 on. But I have been informed that your experience with Fanny is much more extensive than that you grew up at Fanny with lessons and on the swim team. You worked as a lifeguard and gave lessons. Over 25 years ago, you did a brief stint as manager, and you were head coach for the Bucksmont League champs. Mm-hmm. And if any of you want to say something afterward to elaborate on our service. But this evening, we're presenting you with this plaque from the borough in appreciation for your dedicated service as head coach at the Fanny Chapman Memorial Pool from 2019 to 2024. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Get in there. You need to get your picture.
So we need to do a photo op.
Drew, get up here.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Oh, that guy.
You're the main guy.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
And did anyone want to say anything?
Yeah, we did want to say a few, we did want to
Sorry.
say a few. So, I'm Brian Lang, I'm the president of the Fanny Chapman Pool Board of Managers, and we just wanted to say thank you very much for all your years of service and for the great many kids that we have in Doylestown that you had a huge impact on. So we appreciate all your years of service, and Rob's actually prepared a little more information that he wanted to share with everybody as part of a big thank you for all the things you've done for many years. So thank you.
Al, did you want to go before I
Do you
start?
want to go first?
Well, very briefly, I'll say that this is my 24th year on the board, and even though the plaque says for the last 5 or 6 years, I was chairman back in when we didn't have a manager, and Tanya was gracious enough, somewhat reluctant, but gracious enough to hold the fort until we got somebody else. Additionally, she was on the coached. How many championships have you won? Did you win?
Well, the last 6 years, and then, I'm not sure how many we won the first
Let
time
me ask you
out.
let me ask you one question. How many meets did you lose?
Not many. Very few.
Very few? Well, anyway, on the behalf of the Fanny Chapman community, I want to thank her very much. And trust me, as chairman, there's nothing worse when you don't have a manager or a head coach. And twice you stepped up, and much, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I'm going to say this to you, but I'm going to step this way, Tanya. With deep appreciation and admiration, we recognize Tanya for her remarkable leadership, unwavering dedication, and lasting impact on the Fanny Chapman Swim Club. I think you'll be impressed with this. Tanya's coaching journey began in 1993 right here at Fanny Chapman. Over the course of more than 21 years in the sport, and the last 6 as our esteemed head swim coach, she has guided countless swimmers with skill, compassion, and integrity. A proud alumna of Lehigh University, Tanya swam on the championship swimming and diving team while pursuing her studies. She began coaching at CB East during college and went on to earn 2 master's degrees, one in kinesiology with a focus in sports psychology from Temple University and another in secondary school counseling from Lehigh. Her coaching career spans high school and collegiate levels, including 10 years at the University of Pennsylvania, Drexel University, Lehigh University, and Green Run High School in Virginia Beach. She later returned to CB East, where she has served as a dedicated school counselor for 16 years. Beyond summer coaching, Tanya continues to inspire young athletes as an assistant coach for the CBR swim team at the Doylestown YMCA during her time. Tanya's work exemplifies the perfect blend of athletic excellence and emotional insight. Her ability to motivate, mentor, and care for the whole athlete has shaped generations of swimmers and elevated the spirit of our program. You have a question? Okay. Just to tell you, in public speaking, it's good to be quiet, so okay. Now, we are forever grateful for the leadership, heart, and legacy Tanya leaves with the Fanny Chapman Swim Club. With sincere thanks, we celebrate you, Coach Tanya. That's it. Go ahead.
I apologize for barging in, but I was just wondering, amazing how in the hot summer, why you were able to stay sane with 330 swimmers and divers running around in circles, screaming at the top of their lungs. How you did it, I have no idea, but you're a better person than I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job, Tanya.
Thank you.
Way to go, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next on our agenda is the approval of minutes from our June 16th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
And here, a second from Amy. Thank you. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, Madam Mayor, you have a report for us tonight?
I do have a report this evening. The borough's signature summer events continue. On Saturday night, the Rotary's Doylestown at Dusk had a robust attendance in spite of the day's earlier rain. It was a challenge negotiating the street to view 500 vehicles on display. At the show, the Rotary donated $40,000 from last year's proceeds to 7 local charities, and the mayor's award went to a 1959 Studebaker. This month, both the U.S. House and Senate passed the 2025-26 budget. There are significant changes to health care and government funding. It is essential for us, the elected officials, to strengthen and broaden our communication with residents, local businesses, community organizations, and neighboring municipalities. There are going to be changes, and we need to identify what they are and how they impact our community. Healthcare changes will affect our senior care facilities, families who have members with disability, the unhoused, and the nonprofits who support them in so many ways, and our schools, and more we may not be considering. Purposeful, expanded communication will help keep us informed and enhance our ability to mobilize around shared priorities so we can better advocate, support one another, and work with our local leaders to ensure the well-being of our community today and the next generation. Staying connected is not just a matter of governance, it is a matter of community resilience. And those are the end of my thoughts on Monday evening, July 21st, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Public safety, Mr. Brown, do you have anything for us?
We did not meet. The fire company report is attached, and just a note that the preparedness committee met for a second time. They're working on a vision statement and upcoming events, and they'll have something for us next month.
Thank you. Public Works Administration, Mr. Kinney, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee did not meet this past month, but I just wanted to point out that the Public Works crews have been out and about in very challenging conditions to mill and repave various roads and streets here in the borough. And appreciate their really hard work in, when days when the heat index was over 100 degrees. So I just want to commend the work that Dave Berger, who's our Director of Public Works, and his crews have been doing. I realize it's been a really difficult challenge for them. And they're at the tail end of getting all of the streets that were scheduled to be paved this season. So, I just wanted to let the public know that how hard they're working. I know that people kind of take it for granted that these things are going to happen. And it's been a challenge for the crews, but they've stepped up and they've met it, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Community and Government Affairs, Mr. Bell isn't here tonight. I'm not sure if we have a report or not.
The committee did not
They
meet.
did not meet. Okay. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett is not here.
I'm going to make the report for zoning and planning for Ms.
Okay.
Jarrett. The first item for zoning and planning is a tri-party agreement with Doylestown Township and Arcadia. Arcadia proposes the construction of 18 townhomes and a 60-unit apartment at the above referenced address, which is 280 North Broad Street, in Doylestown Township, and a dog park in the Doylestown Borough, along the associated driveway and utility access from Broad Street. Borough Council granted the land water waiver approval of the scope within the borough on January 27th, 2025. Given the added complexity associated with the property being located in the borough and both the township, the borough solicitor recommended entering into a tri-party agreement with the township and Arcadia. Land development projects within the borough involve the borough holding a financial security to ensure completion of certain improvements. The tri-party agreement lays out the financial security, inspections, and cost reimbursements, which will be managed in the compliance with the municipality planning code. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends entering into this attached agreement with Doylestown Township and Arcadia. If council is in agreement with the committee's recommendation, it can approve the agreement by carrying a motion to do so, and I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from
Ms. White?
Ms. Wa- Okay. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Yeah, Mr. President, I just had there's a couple of items that are sort of to be addressed in this agreement. And I don't know if John or if Bucky, if you wanted to address those and kind of what the status of those are before we vote on this. There's the sanitary sewer system dedication. There's a separate agreement on water distribution with the Doylestown Township Municipal Authority and things like that. So
I could speak to the water distribution, and maybe Karen can speak to the sewer, I'm not sure. But I think you are aware there is still a decision to be made and some clarity on how the water will be connected, where it will come from. We have secured, and the developer has posted security sufficient to cover us should the decision be made to serve from Doylestown Borough. So while that final decision has not been made, and it may or may not be served from Doylestown Borough, it may be served from Doylestown Township. Should it move in that direction, then there is sufficient financial security to cover the improvements that would be required. Is that,
That's correct, yes.
do we know anything about the sewer?
Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority, that is a separate arrangement that I believe the developer just put a note on there saying that just to note that it's addressed separately with them, and neither the borough nor the township hold escrow for that item.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And then the next item for zoning and planning.
We need to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we need to vote.
Any other questions or comments from any members of council? Any questions or comments from the member of the public? Well, like to call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Call him Jim, too.
The public.
Be a good T-shirt. Member of the public.
Public gym. Okay, now we have the HARB applications for the next item, and there are 4 applications. The first one is 215 Beek Street, and that was a window application that was approved by HARB. The next one is 22 South Main Street for a renovation, and there were 2 adjustments to the application by HARB. One is vinyl siding material will be changed to hardy plank with a smooth finish. And then the lights on the roof will be turned off during bird migration periods in the spring and the fall. The third application is 239 West Court Street, and that was a renovation. And HARB approved that with a condition that the application use toothed-in exposed brick for the depth of the door opening and provide a genuine stone door sill. The next item is 68 East Court Street. That was a roof application, and HARB approved that to use painted galvanized metal in place of copper. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommended that council approve the applications in accordance with HARB's recommendation. And if council is in agreement, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second by Mr. Lavrone. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from the public? None. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then also in your packet is the code enforcement monthly report and the building inspection monthly report for you to review. And that's the end of the reports.
Thank you, Ms. Popkin. Environment and Rec, Ms. Wyckoff, do you have anything for us today?
I do, thank you. The first is regarding the borough's planting list. In 2021 and 2023, Borough Council amended the subdivision and land development ordinance with an updated list of approved plantings based on species availability, increased temperatures, and durability of cultivars and hybrids. The Shade Tree Commission has recommended adding to the list of approved plants, along with text changes to permit cultivars and hybrids. The Environment and Recreation Committee recommends authorizing the advertisement of the attached ordinance, which is in your packet, and which will also initiate a review by the Borough and County Planning Commissions. If council is in agreement, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
One other item, the full text of this memo and the plan are in your packets. Chris Candido, the owner of 401 Maple Avenue, requested approval to remove a street tree, a mature red maple, along Cottage Street. Mr. Candido is proposing to plant 4 yellowwood trees along Cottage Street following the removal of the red maple. The Shade Tree Commission has endorsed yellowwood trees for both the ordinance and for this location. Environment and Recreation Committee recommends approving the removal, waiving Chapter 25, Part 3, Section 301.1.a, conditional on the following. First, Mr. Candido shall plant 4 yellowwoods in accordance with the attached plan. Second, Mr. Candido shall be responsible for all work associated with the removal, stump grinding, restoration, and replanting. Third, Mr. Candido shall be responsible for maintenance of the new trees for a period of 2 years following the replanting. Fourth, Mr. Candido shall be responsible for replacing trees should they fail to thrive within the 2 years from the time of planting, as determined by the borough. And lastly, in the event Mr. Candido fails to comply with the above conditions, enforcement action will be taken in accordance with Chapter 25 of the Borough of Doylestown Code of Ordinances. Mr. Candido was in attendance at the Environment and Recreation Committee meeting and accepted the conditions. If the council wishes to follow the committee's recommendation, it may approve removal of the existing red maple with the referenced conditions by motion, and I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second by Mr. Lavrone. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Just a quick question, if Ms. Wyckoff knows the answer. In the condition number 4, it indicates Mr. Candido shall be responsible for replacing trees should they fail to thrive within the 2 years from the time of planting as determined by the borough. Do you know how often the borough inspects or how often they will inspect to make sure that the trees are thriving? Do we have any?
I have an
I don't know, but
exact
that's-
number, but
yeah.
we obviously will keep an eye on them.
Okay.
And obviously there'll be a final inspection 2 years from the planting.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to
We
put,
should know long before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something we intend to keep an eye on. and
okay, thank
The
you.
Shade Tree Commission will certainly oversee that. Karen and Dave.
I had a quick question. Is it a minimum of 10 to 12 feet that the tree must be when they plant that new replacement? Is that right?
I'm not aware of that. Karen, are you?
The new trees need to be at least 3 inches, which I believe they've already been selected, and they are greater than 3 inches in caliber.
Okay.
They've been very
I
well
see.
cared for, these trees.
So it's the caliber, it's not the height, it's the
It
caliber.
is the caliper, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from any members of council? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I believe that's it, correct?
That is all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Water utility, Mr. Lavrone, do you have anything for us tonight?
Thank you, Mr. President. The Water Committee did meet on July 8th, and our water engineer, Aero CKS engineers, delivered the Water Distribution and Storage System Hydrologic Model Report and if anybody on council or the public is interested, I have a copy of that. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lavrone. Finance and Pension, Ms. Popkin.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first item we have is the proposal for the additional concerts at Broad Common Park. And in the packet attached, you'll find the proposal outlining a plan for the additional concerts to be held at Broad Commons Park in September. The Finance and Pension Committee reviewed this item at their July 10th meeting, and the members in attendance recommended approval for the proposed concerts. If council wishes to follow the recommendation of the committee, it can do so by motion, and I so move, but I also wanted to let Caitlin give a little summary as well.
Thank you. Just a quick overview of what we're looking at for September. It really mirrors exactly what we did in May. I know many of you were in attendance at that series. We're following the same footprint, so it'll be Broad Commons Park and Doyle Street. It'll be the first and final Thursdays of the month, which is the same thing that we did in May. That first Thursday actually leads into the Arts Festival and Bike Race Weekend, which I think will complement everyone well. We also are bookending the neighboring municipalities concert series. So they run June, July, and August, which I think works out really nicely. We don't have to worry about overlap, so we're May and September. The major differences for this September series is that we are looking to fundraise $20,000 total, which covers the $5,000 that we paid Joe Montone of Stage United back in May. So he will be fundraising with the borough for his own fee there. We actually are already down to $15,000, which is good progress. Also, we broke the concerts into two different series. The two different sponsorships. So we'll have a presenting sponsor for the first Thursday and a presenting sponsor for the final Thursday. So we could have two $5,000 sponsors. And then the final change is that we're looking to take 10% of sales from our major food vendors, so the food trucks and the beer vendors who were here last time. And that was based on, we did research, The Arts Festival charges, I think, $800 for the weekend, but that's about 14 hours of vending and 20,000 people. We looked at Food Truck Thursdays in Peddler's Village, and we talked with local food truck owners, and we kind of came to the compromise of doing the 10% for this time, kind of looking at that as an extension of the pilot series, so we can always change this next year as well. That's all I have.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Connor. Thank you.
Just a quick question. It notes in your 10% of their sales or a flat fee of $250.
Yeah, sorry, that.
Did you address that?
Yeah, at the Finance Committee meeting, we decided to go with the percentage for this round.
Right, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments? Nope. With that, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The second item is the consideration of resolution number 2025-10. This is supporting HB 1152 regarding EMS reimbursements. Attached, you will find resolution number 2025-10, supporting Pennsylvania House Bill 1152. This is requiring insurance companies to directly reimburse emergency medical service providers for services rendered in the Commonwealth to residents. The Finance and Pension Committee reviewed this item at their July 10th meeting, and the members in attendance are recommending this item be passed to Borough Council for approval. If Council agrees with passing of resolution number 2025-10, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Brown. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from public?
I
Hearing
would
none.
just like to add a couple things that Mr. Kenny had requested that I do a little research and see what other municipalities have passed this. I think so far, all of our neighboring municipalities are either considering it in their next board meeting or have already passed it. So it's definitely gaining favor from the municipalities.
Also like to add that Central Bucks EMS and Chuck Pressler in particular have been talking about this very issue and have had this as a major priority for 20 years. I think Chuck's been talking about this and urging us all to do what we can to make this happen as it would have a major positive impact on Central Bucks' bottom line, and I know they will appreciate very much council taking a position on this, and we'll make sure that Chuck gets a copy.
Any other questions or comments from members of council or staff? Hearing none. Any questions from the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is the finance report included in your packet, and I'll turn that over to Ms. Brinker.
Thank you, Ms. Popkin. Everyone was given a copy of the finance report for July 21st. It includes payables for June 17th through July 21st, and also payroll for June. The total is $1,152,607.14.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, I'd like to call, any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's the end of the finance report.
Thank you, Ms. Popkin. Personnel, we did meet on June 23rd, 2025, to interview candidates to fill a vacancy on the Environmental Advisory Council. In addition, on July 16th, 2025, the Personnel Committee met to interview candidates to fill a vacancy on the Parks and Recreation Board, as well as a student member vacancy. At the conclusion of these interviews, and upon discussion, the Personnel Committee is recommending that council appoint the following. Number one, Kristen Goodnecht to the EAC for a term ending December 31st, 2027. Patrick McCauley to the Parks and Recreation Board for a term ending December 31st, 2026, and Tucker Brennan as a student member to the Parks and Recreation Board for a term ending April 2026. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Ms. Popkin, I believe.
Yes.
Any questions comments from any members of council. I'd like to point out that Patrick McCauley worked as a summer intern for the parks, so he's got a little history with the boroughs.
For Public Works, right?
Public Works, yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions? Hearing none from the public, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Professionals report. Mr. Doherty, do you have anything for us?
Thank you. I have nothing to report tonight.
Solicitors report.
Thank you. No report this evening.
Okay. Chief, you have anything for us?
No report tonight, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. I do not have a president's report. Any items of old business? Any items of new business? Open public comment? Nobody signed up, so we do not have an executive session.
We do not.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're out of here.